Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 1, 5 Mistakes. So let me preface this video by saying these are not mistakes that I have come up with. I read an article yesterday in Forbes magazine written by Eric Kane where he had 5 issues or 5 problems that were wrong with the premiere. And what I want to do is I want to look through each one of his topics and I want to kind of debate and debunk those to a certain degree. I would love to have your feedback, your opinion. Look, we all have a right to our opinions, but sometimes if we're wrong about something, we got to backtrack it. Believe me, I know this firsthand because I've done a lot of theory videos over the last 6 months. So the 5 biggest problems with the Walking Dead season premiere, Eric Kane. So there's a shot of Eric. Eric is a contributor for Forbes magazine. How you doing, Eric? Everybody give Eric a what's up. So issue number 1, Negan is only a comic villain. So let me talk about, this is his actual excerpt from the article. So probably the biggest problem with the Season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead was the episode's main star, Negan. Unfortunately, in an effort to keep crafting worse and worse villains, the show has fashioned itself a cartoon. Negan's villainy doesn't belong in that kind of world. He's pure evil, and he monologues like a cartoon too, going on and on about how he's in charge. In some ways, he's more obnoxious than scary, whereas the governor was ominous and unpredictable, and the termites were a surprise band of cannibals, and the main wolf was really creepy. Negan is just a guy with a bat in charge of an army who loves the sound of his own voice. Whew, I know this is going to get a response from all the fans out there. I could not disagree more. I do know the comic element and what Negan did to Mark and what Negan did to Dwight, and he is evil, but his evil, I think, does translate very well to the TV screen. Now, I understand that Eric bases his opinion of Negan on solely what he saw in the premiere. However, I think that's too little information. We know Negan does have a comic book persona, and we've seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan actually take that and add some really good elements, a lot of improvising that he does there. He's making this character into a hero and a villain at the same time. So in my opinion, there is no merit to his first topic. So let's move on to talk about reason number 2. The violence was over the top, even for The Walking Dead. He discussed how over the top and disgusting the violence in this episode was. A lot of people quickly pointed out that the scene in the comics is violent too. Well, first of all, there's a big difference between illustrations of violence in a comic and actually seeing it on live action TV. Second, I can stomach it just fine. I'm just not sure it's something that I want to stomach. It was not the first time I felt this way when such and such was killed in the revolving door. Zombies peeled the side of his face off. He states it was unpleasant, less frightening, nauseating. I know I'm not alone in thinking there's some lines better left uncrossed. Watching Glenn's eye bulge from his face when he was smashed over the skull by a barbed wire wrapped bat over and over again was a line for me. Worse, it was the kind of death that put all the focus on the gore and on the shock value rather than the loss of a beloved character. I could not disagree with this more. I probably disagree with this topic more than anything that he's written. I think that there was ample focus on Glenn. And although I do think it was a fair share of gore, to me I wasn't consumed by it because I was so interested in what Glenn was trying to say, and I felt sorry for him that he couldn't retaliate, that he couldn't do anything back, and his only focus was on Maggie. So absolutely, it was gory, but it wasn't gory to a point where I lost track of what was going on. And by the way, Eric, his name is Noah, not such and such. So if you're going to be a contributor and write articles for Forbes, you need to kind of do a little bit of research and find out who the characters are that you're talking about instead of such and such in the revolving door. So once again, topic number 2, I think you're absolutely wrong. So let's move on to topic number 3. It should have been the season 6 finale, or at least broken up better. So what he says here is making audiences wait for 6 months to find out who died was a dirty trick and poor storytelling. There's no two ways about this. I'm going to agree with you. Rather than spend so much time corralling all the heroes up for the season 6 finale while never answering the question why it was better to take Maggie to the doctor than the doctor to Maggie, that is it's a valid point, but the thing you have to realize, it would have taken twice as much time for them to go up and get the doctor and then bring the doctor back. So I guess they thought, get everybody together, get them in a truck, move on. And he says it should have been split up. Let me just tell you from a selfish standpoint, the cliffhanger was very, very good for business. There were a lot of videos, a lot of discussion, a lot of new subscribers, and a lot of the relationships that I have with all of you because of that. But I will give Eric a little bit of credit on this one. I think what he said is mostly true. They probably could have split it up a little bit better than having us wait for 6 months. So let's move on to number 4, bad writing and consistency errors. So Eric says that Negan isn't just a cartoon villain because he's super evil and one-dimensional. He's also a cartoon villain because of the lines he spouts out. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo was bad enough, but sometimes okay to change stuff from the comics when the source material is this cheesy. To some extent, it's just that he says too much. He talks and talks and talks while we wait around for the good stuff. At other times, he just sounds really stupid. Rick saying, "I'll kill you," right after 2 of his friends were killed seems utterly absurd. Even stubborn Rick would realize that such defiance would only get more people he loved killed. Well, actually, you're wrong about that because it didn't get anybody else killed. Almost got Carl's arm taken off, but that's a different story. Other little things didn't make sense. Why not kill Daryl when he's the one who punched Negan? Why did Daryl lose his cool like that to begin with? Also, how did the axe get up on the roof? So many topics. Eric, you're looking completely clueless. Let's talk about what Rick said first. Not today, not tomorrow. This actually became a mocking scene for Negan. I thought it was great. It's Rick's character. He had to play the character, and several times in there, Negan said, not today, not tomorrow, not today, not tomorrow. I think the interaction there was perfect. Also mentions Maggie going to Hilltop by herself. She's not going by herself. Sasha will protect her, but that is the next phase in the story where Maggie will take over Hilltop. Also, it's a little defiant in its own right because Negan's expecting all of them to go back to Alexandria to start getting his stuff. So that's why that happens. And also, how does the axe get on the roof? Go back and watch the episode, Eric. You actually see Negan throw it on the roof, and you can hear it hit the roof. So if you're going to write an article about The Walking Dead, pay attention to what happens before you write an article that millions of people are going to read. Believe me, we've all learned this the hard way. So topic number 4, I'm going to chime in and say wrong. So the 5th and final topic or mistake that Eric saw in the premiere is Glenn deserved better. Let's take the text right from his article. I think a lot of these issues might not have been such a big deal if Glenn had a better death. I know it's in the comics. I know that. I get it. I understand the factuality. This is the case. The real issue is twofold. First, they fake killed Glenn last season, which made his real death, I guess that should be feel. Probably need a proofreader as well, too, at Forbes. Both cheaper and crueler. They should have fake killed Daryl instead. The whole thing has left me and many other viewers with very negative feelings about being tricked in a pretty lame way. Second, Glenn did not have any screen time before his death, and he deserved that time. Most other season 1 characters that have passed did so a few seasons ago, so I think Glenn deserved a better send-off, even if he was going to die in such a gruesome way. Very strong opinions for this. So, did the dumpster scene desensitize us toward Glenn's death? I don't think so, because a lot of people thought he was going to get off scot-free, except the hardcore comic fans. I know we went back and forth to debate that, but I think the dramatic fashion of which he died, I think he got plenty of screen time. I mean, remember, he was pulled out of the back of the van, and the first thing he said was Maggie. He also tried to interfere. When he interfered, he got a little bit of screen time there, but none of the characters got a whole lot of screen time in that scene because it would have been too obvious which person died. And lastly, even on Talking Dead, Stephen Yeun was ranting and raving about how important it was, how much he enjoyed the scene, how epic it was, how iconic it was, and that was exactly the way he wanted to go. So if the actor liked the send-off, then I'm sorry, Eric, who are you to second guess the writers in that situation? So once again, I'm going to say that your opinion is wrong. So this is straight out of Forbes. I was a little bit surprised, and maybe Walking Dead is not their area of expertise, and they do have these contributors, but at least 4 of the 5 topics they discussed, I thought they were absolutely wrong. I will give them a little bit of merit with the cliffhanger. I think that upset a lot of us. But overall, I thought the season premiere was just phenomenal. One of the highest rated shows in the history of television. So many of us were waiting on it. Yes, we can kind of pick it apart little by little. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about the article. Let me know your thoughts about the premiere, what you liked, what you didn't like. I am already looking forward to episode number 2, our theories, our predictions, and to ride this all the way through the season. Thanks so much for your interaction. And before you guys ask, yes, I did lose a little bit of my voice at a concert. Thanks for everything that you do. Give this video a thumbs up. My name is Killshot. Talk to you all in the next video. Peace.